Good evening. Welcome to the Big Story. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Gretchen Ho.
And I'm Riza Diaz.
Tonight's big stories. A court orders the arrest and transfer to Pasig City Jail of Alice Guo, while the brother of Michael Yang, once the economic advisor, former President Rodrigo Duterte, is arrested for an immigration violation.
Senator Bato de la Rosa slams former Iloilo City Mayor Jed Mabilog's testimony at the House Quad Committee hearing, calling it a demolition job.
And Lakas CMD and PDP Laban hold in National Assemblies today, gearing up for the 2025 midterm elections. Former Senator Laila de Lima announces a comeback as the lead nominee for the Liberal Party's party list arm.
Alice Guo, now a household name, will now make her way to the Pasig City Jail following orders of the Pasig Regional Trial Court to move her from Camp Crame.
Guo's business partners in Hong Sheng and Zun Yuan Technology, including Representative Dennis Conanan, are now also facing arrest.
Let's get more details on these with Camille Samonte. She's reporting to us live in Pasig. Camille, what is the latest now on Alice Guo?
Ladies, the BJMP has already prepared the cell where former Bamban Mayor Alice Guo will be placed here in a Pasig City Jail female dormitory following a warrant of arrest issued by the Pasig City Regional Trial Court Branch 167, that is for the qualified human trafficking case. Authorities say no special treatment will be given to Guo and that she will be placed together with other inmates.
After the Supreme Court transferred the case of qualified human trafficking against Alice Guo to the Pasig City Regional Trial Court, the Pasig RTC Branch 167 issued a warrant of arrest against the former mayor earlier today. This is in connection to her involvement in the operations of a raided POGO hub in Bamban. The court ordered Guo to be transferred to the Pasig City Jail female dormitory from the PNP custodial facility. Meanwhile, Malaysian national Walter Wong, currently detained at the Tarlac Provincial Jail male dormitory, has been ordered transferred to the Pasig City Jail male dormitory. Wong was the former general manager of Zun Yuan Technology and Hong Sheng Gaming, which operated the POGO hub in Bamban. Also included in the arrest order are other accused individuals such as Wang Ziyang, the alleged big boss of POGOs and a fugitive from China. Guo's business partners Zhang Ruijin and Lin Baoying, who have been charged and convicted in a billion-dollar money laundering case in Singapore, have also been ordered arrested. The court has issued arrest warrants for other officials and incorporators of Hong Sheng and Zun Yuan, including the representative Dennis Conanan. The court explained that they found sufficient grounds to hear the case against the accused. The arraignment and pretrial conference for Guo and Wong is set for September 27 via video conferencing. According to Justice Secretary Boying Remulla, the arrest warrants merely confirmed the findings of their own prosecutors of the involvement of Guo and others in qualified trafficking. Remulla also warned the remaining co-accused to immediately surrender without asking for any condition, emphasizing that the law will definitely catch up to them. The Bureau of Jail Management and Penology has prepared a cell for Guo at the Pasig City Jail female dormitory. Each cell houses around 45 people and has bunk beds. Due to the limited space inside the cell, Guo will have to sleep next to other inmates.
Ang kasya lamang po dito ay 36. So medyo mararamdaman po ang siksikan. We have no VIP treatment or special treatment sa BJMP. As a policy and practice, hindi po talaga yung ginagawa.
Ladies, Guo is still undergoing a medical procedure in PNP Crame before she will be transferred here in Pasig City Jail. Guo has posted a total of 540,000 bail for graft before the Valenzuela court. The BJMP meanwhile ensured Guo's security following alleged death threats received by the former mayor. Ladies?
Well, thank you for those updates. That was Camille Samonte reporting live from Pasig City.
At the same time she was ordered, arrested, and detained at Pasig City Jail, Alice Guo was in another court for another case. Guo was scheduled for arraignment today at Valenzuela Regional Trial Court Branch 282 for graft and corruption charges. But She was not able to enter a plea for this since her legal team has an unresolved motion before the Capas-Tarlac RTC, which was the former venue of the case. The Valenzuela court has given the prosecution team until September 25 to comment on this and rescheduled the arraignment and pre-trial of Guo to September 30. Still, Guo posted bail for 2 counts of graft charges before the Valenzuela RTC. But instead of 180,000 pesos, Judge Elena Amigo Amano tripled the bail to 540,000 pesos. Guo's lawyer said they'd rather have their client detained elsewhere than Valenzuela City Jail.
We intend to postpone kaya walang pambayad, no? Kaya natagalan kasi naghanap pa kami ng pambayad. Pero kasi nga, nasabi ko kanina, yung first and foremost consideration, safety. Ina-assess namin kung saan feel namin mas safe siya. So, niroll out namin yung Valenzuela, nag-post kami ng bail.
In our assessment, mas delikado naman siya. So, feeling namin, kailangan na siya mag-bail para sa passing or Congress, wherever siya dahil ng RTC judge ng Pasig kung saan siya gusto i-commit.
The brother of Michael Yang, former President Duterte's economic advisor, has been arrested upon landing at the NAIA 3 for an immigration violation. His name is Tony Yang, and his name was also brought up in the House Quad Committee hearing in relation to the POGO investigation. Francis Orsho with the big story.
Armed with a mission order, officers of the Bureau of Immigration and the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission had Tony Yang cornered. Tony, otherwise known as Yang Jianxin, is the older brother of Michael Yang, economic advisor to former President Rodrigo Duterte. Tony Yang was nabbed immediately upon his arrival at the NAIA Terminal 3 from Cagayan de Oro.
You're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent.
According to PAOK, Yang violated the Philippine immigration law when he assumed a Filipino identity.
Siya ay isang Chinese national na nag-assume ng Filipino name, yung Antonio Maestrado Lim. Lumalabas na isa siyang undesirable alien.
Tony Yang's arrest came on the same day his name was mentioned in the House Quad Committee hearing. In Thursday's inquiry, it was revealed that he owns a company in Cagayan de Oro called Philippine Sanjia Steel Corporation. This company had a warehouse built in 2018, the same year that POGO hubs in Porac, Pampanga and Bamban-Tarlac were being constructed. Yang is also the owner of Alwana Compound in CDO, which housed an offshore gaming company. It's still uncertain how Tony Yang, aka Antonio Maestrado Lim, was able to own companies in the Philippines when he's not even a citizen. PAOK officials say they got to him right on time, believing Yang was just about to flee the country before his arrest. Seized from him were a few but very expensive items, a high-priced watch and pocket money of more than 1.4 million pesos.
Yun ang tinitingnan namin, kasi medyo mainit na yung trail nila. Ang tingin namin baka sumibat ito, kaya inunahan na namin. Kaya siguro may dala siyang maraming pera kasi kung balak niyang umalis, siguro he will probably convert that into dollars.
What convinced authorities more that Tony Yang had plans to slip out of the country was a Chinese passport he was carrying under the name of Yang Jianxin. From the birth certificate of Yang, now in PAOK's possession, he was born in Misamis Oriental in 1970 with a note of late birth registration. That's when something clicked for PAOK.
Yung estilo na ginawa niya is the same style na ginawa ni dating Mayor Alice Go, na ginawa ni Cassandra Ong, at yung ibang mga Chinese na nahuli natin na nagpa-late registration, and then nagpalit sila ng pangalan.
Tony Yang will face inquest proceedings soon and will be held at the PAOK detention facility for now. He could be transferred to another facility, but definitely his presence will be requested at the House Quad Committee. Leaders of the panel welcomed Yang's apprehension, saying he is key to putting the puzzle pieces together as they try to find linkages among POGOs, dirty money, and illegal drugs. Tony's brother Michael Yang has long been wanted at the inquiry. In fact, Quadcom has already ordered his detention for failing to attend in hearings despite repeated invitations, since he is also being tagged in the 3.6 billion peso drug buy-bust in Mexico, Pampanga last year. But Michael Yang is believed to have fled to Dubai earlier this year. Mobile journalist Francis Orsho, We Are One News.
Meanwhile, foreign POGO workers have only until October 15 to voluntarily leave the country. Now, Justice Undersecretary Nicholas T. said starting October 16, they will be downgraded to tourist visas, and those who refuse to exit the country by end of the year will face deportation. Now, some 2,000 to 3,000 foreign POGO workers have already voluntarily downgraded their visas, but based on DOLE and PAGCOR figures, there might be up to 30,000 workers in the sector.
Doon sa foreign workers na nagtatrabaho sa mga legal na POGO, parang may mga 2 to 3,000 na daw ang nag-voluntary departure or nasa proseso na ng voluntary departure. Pero ang bilang dito galing sa DOLE at sa PAGCOR ay may mga 20 to 30,000 silang mga lisensyado sa kanila. At may iba pa bilang ang BI dito.
USEC T says they're also already looking into the culpability of Alice Go's lawyers over the fact that the NBI discovered that Go's specimen signature did not match the signature on the counter affidavit she filed. Recall that the notarization of the said affidavit was also cast into doubt after it emerged Go was not even in the country when it was notarized. Go herself also later admitted she signed the last page of that counter affidavit weeks before she fled the Philippines in July, raising questions over whether her lawyers knew of her plan.
Iniimbestiga na namin ang posibleng pananagutan ng mga abogado na may kinalaman dito sa counter affidavit na to. So tuloy lang yung investigasyon, tapos malalaman natin sa mga susunod na araw kung ano magiging bunga ng investigasyon na to.
Talking about POGO workers, actually in September 11, the Department of Labor and Employment said that they have finished profiling about 27,000 POGO workers, and that there will actually be a job fair in the first week of October to help the Filipino POGO workers transition to a new livelihood, new source of livelihood. So natapos na yun. What would be interesting to see in that is, I guess, the details of that profiling. Ilang taon ba yung madalas na POGO worker?
We asked that months ago. It's the vast majority women, very young. A lot of them have families, and the question that we asked the DOLE at that time is whether there's going to be offers to train and upskill, because that's what they're going to need to move on to the next role.
So
because
there is.
POGO work is, I guess, very different, right? It's very repetitive. It's a back office technology work. So
DOLE is offering that. But what I haven't seen though is the figure of their salaries from that industry. It has never been released,
shall
right?
find out.
Maybe there would be a significant difference on that matter. Well, up next, we'll be speaking with Liberal Party spokesperson Laya de Lima as they prepare to enter the party list race in the 2025 elections. That when the big story returns. Keep it here on One News.
Welcome back. You are still watching the big story here in One News. Two major political parties, well, I should say three, but held their national conventions or assemblies today as the start of the filing of certificates of candidacies loomed. First, Democratic Party Lakas Christian Muslim Democrats, or LCMD, held their national convention at the Aguada residence in Malacanang today, presided over by party president House Speaker Martin Romualdez. They officially endorsed Senator Ramon Bong Revilla Jr. as their sole senatorial candidate for the 2025 midterm elections. Revilla is the party chairman. LCMD says it now has over 4,000 members. Speaking to party mates, Romualdez said LCMD will remain President Bongbong Marcos's, quote, reliable partner in pushing for policies and reforms that would benefit every Filipino. He also said, in 2025, we are not just fielding candidates, we are shaping the future. LCMD is proud to join the Alianza para sa Bagong Pilipinas. This multi-party administration alliance will bring forth a formidable 12-man senatorial slate as well as candidates for provincial, congressional, and city and municipal positions. All the way across the other side of the country, the once ruling PDP Laban National Assembly kicked off this evening at the De Leonor Inland Resort in Buhangin, Davao City. Party chair, former President Rodrigo Duterte, is expected at the event alongside members and officials from different regions in the country. Also expected to grace the event are Senators Bongo, Davao City Mayor Baste Duterte, Senator Robin Padilla, and Senator Bato de la Rosa.
Also making their own candidate announcement today is the Liberal Party during their event at Club Filipino in San Juan. LP launched its own sectoral wing, the Mamamayang Liberal Party list. Now gunning for a seat in the lower house are its candidates, former Senator Laila de Lima and former Congressmen Erin Tañada and Teddy Bagilat. De Lima has been cleared of all the drug charges filed against her during the Duterte regime. Now, she was released from her 7-year detention in June. Meanwhile, the party has formally announced Senator Kiko Pangilinan's Senate bid. As of now, he is the party's only official candidate. The party has already said before it is not aiming to field a full Senate slate.
The lead nominee for ML, Mamamayang Liberal. Tell me what got you to this point where it made more sense to run as a party list nominee instead of running for a seat in the Senate. What got you to this point?
Well, actually, to be honest, and I've been announcing this for a few months already. Whenever I'm asked, that I actually did not intend to run for any position, for any post, whether it's senatorial, whether it's party list, or whatever else, whatever position like local, etc. I did not initially intend to run, but I was committed to LP to help out the party, and also the ML, or the Mamamayang Liberal, which is the sectoral wing of the Liberal Party. But then I had to make a decision because people have been asking me what exactly is my plan, and I had to choose now between senatorial post or the party list. And after much reflection and also consultation, I decided that I would go for a nominee of one of the nominees, the lead nominee for the ML, or Mamamayang Liberal, the sectoral wing of the Liberal Party, because I thought that through this ML, I am able to further pursue my advocacies for social justice, because the ML is actually a multi-sectoral party list, and that would be aligned also, or would be consistent, or would be would just reinforce the core values also of the Liberal Party as a national political party, a major national political party. Because, you know, actually ML has been there for several years already. It's just the first time that it has been accredited by the COMELEC, and therefore qualified to run for the party list elections next year. So I thought that through the party list, the ML, I could further bring up the agenda of the Liberal Party through the sectoral wing, and this time reaching out to the marginalized sectors, because there are several sectors represented by the ML, and these are the workers, the farmers, the fisher folk, the women, the youth, the LGBT plus QIA, 1A, and also indigenous peoples. So these are multi-sectoral. These are sectoral formations whose interests are being pursued and improved by the various programs of the ML, and this time around to make it stronger, to make those advocacy stronger through appropriate pieces of legislation respecting these various sectors.
Right. That's what I remember from our previous interviews, Senator De Lima, that you did not want to get back into politics anymore. But what or who specifically got you over the line? What was it that convinced you in the end? What or who specifically?
Well, some friends and some allies have actually convinced me that you should run again. You should choose between senatorial and party list. You have the narrative, you have the story. People know you, people remember you, people would they say that I would get sympathy votes and that I would further continue. I would revive my active involvement in pursuing these advocacies through a platform. Because, you know, a citizen Laya will have lesser platform. Although I'm committed to pursue my core advocacies like human rights, justice, accountability. As a citizen Laya, I felt initially that I can really do it. But then after further thought, further reflection, I told myself, and I agree with what some friends told me, that you've got to have a platform to further pursue your advocacies. And I saw the ML as an appropriate and an ideal platform because of its focus on the marginalized sectors, because the core goal and the core advocacy of ML, the various advocacies, the aspirations of these sectors actually have one common goal, and that is social justice.
Senator, may I ask what sectors are under ML? So ML, naalala ko, Mobile Legends, sa totoo lang eh.
Yes, well.
There's probably also a play in that though. But how did it exist? Because you said this has been there for years now. And what sectors exactly are under it?
It's actually started 2014. Gradually, there were various groups, sectoral groups, being formed and performing certain activities. And LP has officially recognized ML in 2021, and then it reaffirmed the recognition of ML as a sectoral wing in 2023. And it was only last year, on December of last year, that ML has filed already a petition for accreditation in the 2022 elections, but the same was denied by the COMELEC. So ML refiled this last December for purposes of next year's elections. And in July of this year, COMELEC finally granted the accreditation to ML. But the sectors involved, the sectors covered are women, youth, urban poor, farmers, fisher folk, LGBTQIA, urban poor, and then indigenous peoples.
Okay.
So those are the sectors.
How will you differentiate yourself from the Liberal Party, and will you do the campaigning together? Will it also be the same color? Magsasabay po ba kayo? And also, I assume that your target is to get 3 seats, right? With Congressman Teddy Bagilat and
Yes.
also Mr. Erin Tanyada.
Yes, Mamamayang Liberal, while a sectoral wing, has actually a distinct and separate existence or personality. But as a sectoral wing, its advocacies are aligned with the Liberal Party, only that it's more focused on the marginalized sectors. Now, for purposes of the elections for next year, then we will have complementary roles, complementary advantages for each other, because the LP is the major national political party fielding national candidates, and that is the Senate, and we have one official candidate so far, and then we would have local candidates from governor, vice governor, mayor, vice mayor, board members. Those are for the local candidates. Now, Congress, the House of Representatives, through the party list. And of course, there will also be district representatives as candidates, as official candidates of LP as a major national political party. So that the district representatives are different from the party list representatives. And it is the first time that the LP would have its own sectoral wing participating in the party list elections. This is the first time that ML is participating because it has just been recently accredited. So we can always complement each other. We will have to plan out our strategies. We have to plan out exactly how we will run the campaign, but that is the difference. The major national political party with senatorial candidate, district representatives, and then local governments. The party list, the ML, is different because these are nominees. The candidate under a party list system is the party list itself. And this is ML. Party lists have nominees. And depending on the number of votes that are garnered by a particular party list, then we will know whether we will be entitled to 1 seat, 2 seats, or 3 seats, or not at all, if the party does not obtain the required number of votes.
And you would need 2% or
Yes.
lower, depended dun sa number kung nakompleto na yung 63 seats. Oo.
Oh, Senator,
Yes.
tanungin na
They're
po rin.
proportional.
Yes.
Pardon?
Senator would also like to ask, because so far Liberal Party has only announced Senator Kiko Pangilinan as the only senatorial candidate. So far, what are the chances na madadagdagan pa po ito, and when are we supposed to expect the others to announce their candidacy?
We actually do not know. We actually do not know at this point whether there would still be a Liberal Party candidate, although we would be having allied candidates. In fact, one of the resolutions adopted in the NECO, in the National Executive Council meeting of the LP this afternoon, aside from the resolution nominating Senator Kiko Pangilinan as the official candidate of LP for senator, the candidacy of allied candidates like Senator Pamakino and also Attorney Chel Jokno. But we can always add, the LP can always add such allied candidates that it could or it would support.
Senator De Lima, since I already have you, I wonder if I could ask you about something sensitive. There was breaking news just this afternoon that Attorney Barry Gutierrez had also confirmed to us that Vice President Sara Duterte had visited former Vice President Leni Robredo in Naga City, and he said this was a personal, not political visit, but it did last about an hour. Of course, you can imagine that it's made big news because we didn't even realize that the two vice presidents were speaking. I wonder if you could weigh in on that, please.
I am not aware of that. I've just learned of that in the online. I mean, just about an hour ago, I read some online news items about that, but I have no knowledge about that as to exactly what was the visit all about.
Of course, the Vice President Robredo has also announced that she's running for mayor of Naga City.
Yes.
Could you tell us what happened there? For a time, there were expectations that she would again run for a national seat. Were you not able to convince her to do so?
Yes, unfortunately, we were not able to convince her. We were convinced. We were trying to convince her if she could lead the senatorial slate, but she has decided to really go for the mayoral seat of Naga City, because she wanted really to preserve the legacy of her late husband, former Secretary Robredo, Jess Robredo, and former mayor of Naga City. So that was her decision, and she really has preference for executive work and really working on the ground. I think she's happier holding such a position. So we tried, but to no avail. But we certainly respect her decision.
But will she be with the
The
Liberal
party
Party still?
Respects her decision.
I mean,
Yes.
as a local candidate, will she still be part of the Liberal Party?
That's what we expect, because she's still a member of the Liberal Party.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. Shell Jokno and Bam Aquino, are they running independently or they have yet to announce?
Well, Bam Aquino, Sen Bam Aquino is part of the CANP, Katipunan ng mga Nagkakaisang Pilipino. And then Attorney Shell Jokno is now a member of Akbayan Party. And then the past weeks, we saw that the three of them would be going to places, and that they are the opposition candidates. But we don't have yet any official announcement as to the candidacy of Bam Aquino and Shell Jokno. What we had earlier was the announcement of the candidacy of the Liberal Party member, and that is Senator Kiko Pangilinan. But the two are considered to be allied candidates if and when they would indeed be running, and I guess they are. It's evident that they're also running for senator, and that's why we also had to issue that resolution supporting the allied candidacies of Bam Aquino and Shell Jokno.
Does it make better sense to run independently with different parties, or will it be better to band together as Checky Bam under the Liberal Party?
Hashtag.
We would prefer that they would join together, that they would, it would be a coalition of this opposition candidates, because they are opposition candidates. There are, of course, advantages and disadvantages, but it would be more beneficial if they join together, if they really project themselves and present themselves as allied candidates for the position.
Okay, we are going to have to leave that there for tonight. We thank you so much for taking time out to talk to us. That was Liberal Party spokesperson, former Senator Laila de Lima.
Meanwhile, Senator Bato de la Rosa said Iloilo City Mayor Jed Mabilog's testimony before the House Quadcom was part of a quote demolition job.
Demolition job para masira kami lahat at mahihina si VP Sara sa 2028. That's purely demolition job. Halata man, ano bang in-age of legislation na makikita mo dyan? Wala man akong nakikita. Matagal naman yung mga investigasyon na yan. Posible naman yan mangyari. Paano mo idadama yung Senator Delon at saka si Marrojas? Anong basis mo nga kung gusto mo idawit? Di ba? No. Walang ganun. Dapat pangalanan niya kung sino yung general na nagsabi sa kanya para tanong natin kung anong basis niya. Saan siya nakakuha ng informasyon na yan. Dapat pangalanan niya kung sino yun.
Mabilog told housemakers Thursday there was a plan back in 2017 to force him to falsely link former Senators Mar Rojas and Franklin Drilon to the illegal drug trade. He recounted an incident in August 2017 when he was supposed to meet with then PNP Chief Bato de la Rosa, who promised to help convince then President Rodrigo Duterte that he, Mabilog, was not involved in drugs. But right after that, a PNP colonel warned him not to go to Camp Crame because his life was in danger. Mabilog claimed his wife also received a text message warning that their house was surrounded. Now their family fled to the United States soon after and stayed there in self-exile for 7 years. Mabilog also claimed Duterte's controversial narco list was weaponized to target his political enemies.
Senator Bato de la Rosa is said to be at the PDP Assembly himself and he joins us now over the line. Good evening, Senator. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat at maraming salamat din sa inyo.
Okay, Senator, yun nga po, kayo po ay nandyan sa PDP Assembly. Maari po ba namin malaman kung meron ng opisyal na slate ang PDP na nai-announce po?
Wala pa. Part pa yan sa pag-uusapan ngayon dito. Hindi pa na-finalize.
Pero may nakita po kasi kami mga litrato dun sa stage. Hindi po ba yun yung, yung slate ninyo? O sino po ang nandyan?
Hindi yan slate. Yung mga PDP officials yan na yung mga officials yan ng PDP na nakalagay. Hindi yan slate.
But who is there with you in the National Assembly?
Ito, kakarating ko lang, bababa ko lang sa aeroplano, kakarating ko lang sa venue, hindi ko pa nakita kung sino yung magkasama ko kasi tumawag na kayo, lumabas ako uli. Hindi ko pa nakita kung sino yung nandun doon.
Maraming salamat. Sige, pumunta na lang po tayo dito sa ating hot topic for today because of the testimony of former Iloilo City Mayor Jed Mabilog implicating you. First, gusto ko lang po i-klaro, was the former Iloilo City Mayor on the narco list when you were PNP chief?
As far as I know, nandun siya, kasama siya sa listahan. At, paano naman yan, balitang-balita naman yan doon sa Iloilo, yung kanyang sitwasyon. Kaya siya umalis, di ba? Dahil nga, sa pangalan niya ay nasa drug watch list.
Kayo po ba ay magkakilala ni Mayor Mabilog?
Doon ko lang siya nakilala. Nung ako naging chipinpi at bumisita ako sa Iloilo City, bisita ako sa Police Regional Office 6. Doon kami nagkita. At from there, nag-uusap na kami sa cellphone. Tumawag na siya sa akin.
When his name was put on the narco list, did he ever ask you for help? Or ask you why his name was on the list?
He was just worried. Yung last namin na usapan, bago siya nag-disappear, tumawag siya sa akin na worried daw siya sa kanyang sitwasyon. Worried for his safety. So sabi ko, para mapalagay ka, punta ka doon sa Krame at walang mangyayari sa'yo. Safe ka dito. Sabi niya, sige sir, pupunta ako dyan. Pupunta ako. So papunta na daw siya. Then later on, tumawag ulit na hindi na lang daw siya pupunta dahil may nag-advise daw sa kanya. Sabi ko, sige, kung ayaw mo pumunta dito, sige lang, okay lang.
Opo, so pinatotohanan niyo po
nawala na siya.
Pinatotohanan niyo po itong phone call na sinasabi po niya, gumamit daw siya ng public phone nung nasa Japan siya pa. Natawagan niya kayo. Tapos yun nga po sinabi niyo na alam niyong inosente siya, na hindi siya involved dito at tutulungan niyo siya. Yun daw po ang sabi ninyo.
Hindi ko masasabi na inosente siya, pero as far as I know, yung aking personal impression na sa kanya, disente man siya na tao, mahinhin, mahinahon, at mukhang mabait man. Sabi ko, mukhang hindi man ito ma-involve sa droga. But then again, hindi ko sinasabi na walang basis yung paglagay sa kanya sa narco list, no? Dahil nga, siya man mismo umamin sa akin na na-link lang daw siya doon kay yung drug lord doon sa Iloilo City na si Melvin Odicta. yung malaking drug lord doon sa Iloilo dahil nga daw yung kanyang chief of staff, yung kanyang city administrator ay nakikita daw pupunta kay Odetta. Kaya nalilink siya doon sa kay Odetta. So, sabi ko, sige lang, tulungan kitang maklear yung pangalan mo, kukumbisihin ko si Pangulong Duterte na matino ka na tao. Dahil as para sa yung impression ko sa kanya talaga is matino siya na mayor.
Opo. Ngayon, Senator...
Ang tingin ko,
Opo.
Yes.
Ngayon, Senator, after so many years, 2017, nung huli niyo pong pag-uusap, nagbago na po ba yung pananaw ninyo? Kasi nag-release po siya ng mga statement at kumbaga nag-iba yung ihip ng hangin. Ganun pa rin po ba yung pananaw niyo tungkol sa kanya?
Well, wala pa akong, hindi naman siguro magbago lang dahil sa kung ano yung pinagsasabi niya ngayon. Basta yung, ano yung impression ko sa kanya noon, the same. Ganun pa rin ang tingin ko sa kanya.
Oh, pero bakit po sinabi niyo na demolition job ito? Kung ganun po yung pagkakakilala po ninyo sa kanya. After 7 years, nagbalik siya dito, nag-testify. He says his life was in danger. Why do you call it a demolition job?
Alam mo sitwasyon namin ngayon, no? Nakikita ko. Yung mga, kaya kung sabing demolition, dahil ano ba yung ginagawang investigasyon yan? Bakit tila lumalabas na yung mga drug lord at mga drug lord protectors noon ay parang lumalabas na silang hero ngayon. Sila kiniklear yung pangalan nila. At kaming mga anti-drug enforcers, ay parang kami ang hinahabol. Kami pinapalabas na masamang tao. So, what's this? Is this really demolition? Diba? Ano pa bang tingin mo dyan? Yung tila naging hero na yung mga drug lord at drug lord protectors. Kiniklear yung pangalan nila. Ginagamit pa yung mga committee dyan sa warehouse. Tapos kaming naghihirap na binubuwis yung buhay namin sa trabaho dito sa anti-drug. Kami mga anti-drug kami mga anti-drug enforcers, kami na ngayon ang parang lumalabas na masamang tao, may kasalanan.
Yeah.
Diba?
Senator, we're running out of time, but change topic muna tayo, no? Let me ask you about the big breaking news this evening. So, na-confirm na po ni former spokesman Barry Gutierrez amin that Vice President Sara Duterte visited former Vice President Leni Robredo in Naga City today, this afternoon. Barry Gutierrez said that it was a personal, not political visit, but, it did last an hour pa rin. I wonder if I could have your comments on that. What you think about that?
Maganda yan kasi sa ating bansa, dapat yung mga kinikilalang leader ay dapat magkakaibigan, hindi mag-aaway. Maganda yan for the Filipino nation, para mabawas-bawasan yung problema ng ating bansa, hindi yung puro away na lang yung mga leader natin. Maganda yan. Ako rin, galing rin ako doon sa Naga City kanina. Hindi lang kami nagpangabot ni Vice President Sara.
Ano po ginawa niyo doon?
Akong umalis.
Ano po ginawa niyo sa Naga?
Ay, nakipinipran siya tayo doon. Nakipinipran siya dahil ay, kung may time ako talaga, panata ko yan Yung pinipran siya na yan, kung may time lang. Ngayon, nagkaroon ako ng time dahil inibitahan ako doon ng mayor doon na parang groundbreaking nung plaza nila, yung project ng
Na-invite din kayo na-invite sa meeting nila VP?
Hindi na kasi maaga yung flight ko pabalik sa Manila. Maaga.
Pero na-invite po kayo, hindi lang kayo pumunta.
Hindi ako na-invite.
Senator, but it's medyo curious sa atin political observers because we didn't even realize, I mean, you said it's good kasi it's good for leaders to be friends, but we didn't even realize that the two vice presidents are talking. If I recall, a few years ago pa nga, si Vice President Sara Duterte once called former VP Robredo fake VP. So we thought there was, bad blood. So we didn't even realize they were talking. You don't think that's curious na dinalaw siya in Naga City?
Well, as I have said, maganda yan. Maganda yan. Nagkaibigan sa hindi naman siguro pupunta si Vice President Sara doon para magsabunutan sila, di ba? pumunta siya doon para mag-usap sila at magkipagkaibigan. So maganda po yun. That's a good sign for leaders to befriend each other.
Meron na silang pagkakabandingan, pareho silang nabawasan ng budget.
Hindi, panahon ni VP Leni, hindi ba siguro binawasan yung budget niya? Wala mo akong naalala na binawasan. Wala akong naalala na
Okay lang
binawasan.
ang budget ng opisina ni VP Robredo nung panahon ni Duterte, Pangulong Duterte yun.
Oo, hindi ko naalala kung nabawasan ng budget. Mukhang wala mang binawa.
Okay. We're gonna have to leave that there, Senator De La Rosa. Pero balitaan niyo po kami sa PDP Laban National Assembly, please. We're
PDP na lang, PDP.
PDP, yes.
Magkahiwalay na yun.
Oh, yes, sorry, sir.
Okay.
Alright. Maraming salamat,
Thank you. Dagang salamat, Senator.
Okay, as we were just saying, Vice President Sara Duterte was seen in Naga City and had a meeting with her predecessor, former Vice President Leni Robredo. This has been confirmed. Let's try and get more details on that visit. We have on the line Attorney Barry Gutierrez. Good evening, Attorney Gutierrez. Can you hear me okay?
Good evening. Hello.
Attorney Gutierrez, you sound like you're very chirpy today. Maraming ganap. Lots to talk.
Madami nagtatanong tungkol sa ano nangyari dun sa isang usapan na...
Yeah.
Good to have you on the show again. It's been a while.
Oo nga eh. So
Yeah.
what's happening? Ano na?
The short answer is si VP Sara was there in Naga apparently to attend the Peña Francia Festival. While she was there, she dropped by VP Leni's house and they had a conversation about personal, not political matters. And that's it.
Attorney naman you know we
Posible
want
ba yun?
more than that. First of all, we didn't even realize they were on speaking terms. Who initiated this visit?
Right.
Well, si VP Leni learned that si VP Sara was dropping by her house literally minutes before they arrived. So tinawagan siya na, pupunta si VP Sara sa bahay niyo. And siyempre, anong gagawin mo, 'di ba? So, 'di ba, she received si VP Sara and they had a conversation which lasted for around an hour.
Wait, sorry. So she was this was sprung on VP Robredo. She was surprised by the visit then.
Yeah, she was.
Okay. But nevertheless, she accepted the visit. Could you tell us more about what they talked about? I know you said it's personal, not political, but you can imagine the reason we're all keen to know more details is because the optics of it is quite interesting.
Yeah, actually, I think this is all about the optics. But as far as I know, I wasn't there. So si VP Leni told me that their conversation was mostly kumustahan, di ba? Kumusta na yung pamilya, etc. And that they did not talk about anything na political in nature. So, but beyond that, I don't know. Kasi kinuwento lang din naman niya sa akin.
Si VP Roberto yung nagkwento po sa inyo, attorney.
Yes.
And what was her feedback about the meeting? What did you think about it?
Well, more than anything else, feeling ko she was surprised. Nagulat siya na bigla siyang pinuntahan, 'di ba? And as I was saying, nalaman na lang niya na pupuntahan siya on the way na sa bahay nila. 'Di ba? But then, ang sabi naman niya, they had a relatively pleasant conversation. Politics didn't come into the picture. So I suppose maski yung mga dating mga banggaan in public, hindi na pag-usapan, and they focused more on kumustahan sa isa't isa.
Sabi namin, baka may commonality na yung
seen each other I think this is the first time they've actually met since 2016 in person.
That's why
Yeah.
it's it's a bit of a shock to all of us. I was just telling Senator Bato de la Rosa that if I recall correctly, it was Vice President Sara Duterte who once called former VP Robredo the fake vice president, right? So.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why. So it's a big jump from that to suddenly going to her house for a social visit. So we're hoping someone can fill in the blanks for us there.
Well, you should probably, the person to ask would probably be si VP Sara mismo kasi she was the one who initiated the visit. VP Leni was simply being a good host, di ba? Sinabi, pupunta siya sa bahay, and especially during Peña Francia, sanay siya naman na nag-receive ng mga bisita na who are in Naga for the festival. So, regardless of whatever personal political history they might have had, nung sinabihan siya na papunta na kami sa bahay mo, di ba, she received them, and sabi naman niya sa akin, they had a fairly pleasant conversation sa bahay.
Sabi namin baka kasi may commonality na sila, no? Kasi yung budget ng OVP inihahambing na dun sa budget ni VP Robredo nung panahon niya na 700 million nung last year ni VP Robredo.
Yeah.
Baka they have, empathy for each other's plight.
Makaka-relate sila sa isa't isa.
Well,
I guess the big difference is hindi kami humingi ng mas malaking budget, di ba?
But the other, si Senator Bato de la Rosa then was in Naga City today. So again, talking about optics, what's happening there that's got all these powerful, high-profile people visiting on the same day? I know you're going to say Peña Francia, but did they always go every year to Peña Francia, as far as you know?
I don't really recall na nagpupunta sila doon. Well, except for si dating Presidential Council Panelo, who is from Naga. Pero sila VP Sara, sila Senator De La Rosa, I don't know whether na dumadalaw sila before.
Right.
I guess the other question would be, has anybody from the administration, any of their bets, visited the Vice President, the former Vice President? Kasi kung nabisita ni VP, di baka meron din mula sa administrasyon.
Well, not that I know of. Pero baka naman dahil sinimulan na ni VP Sara na dumalaw kay VP Leni, the next few days kung sino-sino nadadalaw sa kanya.
Okay, let's move on from today's meeting. Attorney, I wonder if you could talk us through something. So we just had former Senator Laila De Lima on the line as well a few minutes ago, and she said that they did try very hard to convince former VP Robredo to run for a Senate seat next year, but they clearly failed because she has opted to run for a mayoral seat in Naga City. I wonder if you know more about that and could share us more details. Why was she flat out refusing to run for a national position?
Well, from the beginning, si VP Leni naman has preferred to take on work that brings her closer to her constituents. Even when she was vice president, she took great pains to transform the OVP into an office that allowed her to actually deal more directly with Filipinos from all over the country. So now that her term is over, clearly her preference is to have a job that is hands-on. And tingin ko, being in the Senate is not that kind of job from her perspective. Besides, you have to remember na matagal na siyang pinababalik ng mga kanyang mga kaprobinsya at mga kasyudad sa Naga. Sabi nga nila nung 2022, pinahiram lang namin si Leni Robredo para tumakbong presidente. And this time around, I think the clamor for her from her closest supporters in Naga to come back and run for a local position was something that hindi na niya pwedeng i-push back uli. Kasi pinagbigyan na nga siya noong 2016 and 2022. So it's a homecoming of sorts, and it's also in accord with her own preference for the kind of public service that she wants to do.
Just to be very clear, she will be running under the Liberal Party, is that correct?
I don't know. I don't know whether she's made a final decision on that. Although, in 2022, she did not run under the Liberal Party. She ran as an independent. So that's probably an option that she will want to explore when she actually files for her candidacy as mayor.
The Liberal Party also needed her, though. As I said, they were trying very hard to convince her because without her, then there is no clear opposition head. I mean, at this point, it's not clear to us sino talaga yung classic or traditional opposition figurehead. That didn't sway former Vice President Robredo?
Well, first of all, I don't think that it's true that there is no real opposition head. But when she stepped down as vice president, one of the first things she did was actually meet with Senator Risa Ontiveros, and she publicly announced that because Senator Risa is now the highest elected official in the opposition, she should be the leader of the opposition, and that all of us would be looking to Senator Risa for leadership, which I think Senator Risa has actually displayed in the last few months, diba? Taking the leadership role in multiple investigations in the Senate, itong kay Alice Guo, itong kay Kibuloy. So I think that when she passed the torch on to Senator Risa, it was clear that she was going to be the opposition leader.
Okay, fair point. We're going to have to leave that there for tonight. But if we find out there's more to today's meeting in Naga City, Attorney Gutierrez, we're going to come back to you. We're going to call you again.
Of course. I would expect no less.
It feels like there's it feels like something's brewing.
Parang iba yung tawa niya, no?
Oo nga. Kaya naman you want to break it to us now.
I find the whole situation amusing, eh. Di ba, na dumalaw sa bahay, biglang everybody's losing their mind.
Okay.
Maybe that was the point.
Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Always fun to talk to Attorney Bali.
It is.
Right.
It
Now,
is.
before we go, here's our big picture tonight. Now, imagine being stranded in the middle of the sea for a month and a half. Would you actually make it? Well, a 50-year-old fisherman, Robin Dihilo, did. He was rescued off Batanes after his boat ran out of fuel while he was fishing in the waters of Aurora. Dihilo is a resident of Infanta, Quezon. He's now in the hospital receiving treatment for dehydration, malnutrition, and exposure.
Galing.
Grabe.
1 month and a half.
I wonder if his family was already, giving up after a month and so not hearing from him, and then eventually nahanap siya.
Fortunately, right?
Ano kaya, medyo malayo yun, dito, side of Philippines, tapos going to Batanes. That's very far. I want to hear his story.
I know, survival, that's some serious survival tactics, right?
Well,
good way to end this week as we survive.
The politics in the
politics,
Philippines.
the typhoon, the traffic.
True.
And 3 national assemblies today.
Full show, but that's the show for us tonight.
We are One News, all sides, all the time.
Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night. Great weekend.